What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we got another special request here. Somebody sent me this video about Swedengate. Y'all know I did a couple of videos about the Swedengate, and I got most of you guys' responses on that. You know, of course, some people say usually, person just go home. If you got company about to eat, you just go home or something like that. Some people say it's not true. Some people say it has happened. So, but this channel from my guy Bjorn, I be messing up. Bjorn Talks. I probably pronounced that name wrong still, but got Swedengate as nonsense. Scandinavian reacts. So we finna see his point of view on it, cause like I said, I feel like usually when your friends come over or something, if they're spending the night, at least on my end, if they're staying the night at your house or something, your family will probably feed them. But if they're just coming over or something for a little bit and then have to go later, you're probably not eating until after they leave, or they're leaving before you go home, or before they go home, or you leaving before they leaving before you eat or something like that. So, but we finna check this out, see my guy's point of view. So y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I do have a Patreon if y'all like to support your boy even further, but let's check it out.
Okay, so I'm just going to say a few words about Swedengate. It's quite silly. It's totally incredibly stupid. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm actually in the middle of a workout, but I got annoyed and I need to say a few words, even though it's silly. Okay, Swedengate. You don't get fed, or rather your kids will not get fed in their friend's house in Sweden. That's what they're saying. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and they are throwing racism and stuff into this whole mess.
I didn't know they were doing that.
So it's been trending on the Twitter and social media, I believe. So if you didn't know, the Swedengate is people from other countries complaining about when their kids visit other families, and that family have dinner, and on some occasions the visiting kid have been told to stay in the friend's room or something like that. In other words, that kid has not been invited to dinner. Listen, this is a good example of when you don't even try to understand other cultures. Okay, so this is something that happens in Scandinavia. Now I'm Norwegian, but it's Sweden and Norway. It's very much the same. And I remember when I grew up in the 70s and 80s.
Ooh.
And if I visited
long time ago,
someone, we were, playing with Lego or something, I would sometimes be asked at dinner time either to go home, or I might, sometimes I would be asked to stay in the room, and I would not be invited to dinner. I would say that most often I would be invited to dinner at that family, of course. Now, I can't remember if my kids have not been invited to dinner when they've been at friends' houses. I honestly don't know. I believe it is not as common anymore.
Okay. And he said a key thing, it's just all about understanding different cultures, everybody gonna do different things. Even if you're part of the same culture or part, you from the same country and stuff, like my neighbor's gonna do something different than how I do. I think it's just understanding that that's their house, that's not my house type of thing. And just sometimes people do make things a big deal, but if they ask me, if I was asked, hey, just stay in the room while we eat dinner or something like that, I guess, but I mean, me personally, when I went to other people, they always offered me something to eat, whether it was a snack or something. I always got offered. So that's why when I first heard of Swedengate, it surprised me. I'm like, really? That really happens? I always been asked, you want a snack? You hungry? You thirsty? You go to somebody's house visit, that's the first thing they almost ask you, especially if they have those, I have friends that have those type of parents, or first time meeting, or if I was a regular, hey, you want something to eat, to the point where, if I'm just going there all the time, now I'm there and they don't mind if I go in the fridge and grab something, because I'm a regular.
Now, this has not anything to do with racism, by the way.
At all. That's
There
what.
are people actually saying
That's
that
crazy.
the Swedes are racist because
Dang.
if their kid is playing with a colored kid, that colored kid will not be invited to dinner.
Dang.
It's incredibly stupid to say something like that. Sweden and Norway, Scandinavia, we're among the least racist countries on the planet, right? And this has nothing to do with racism or anything like that.
That's my first time
It's a
hearing
cultural
that.
thing. So
Yeah, that's my first time hearing somebody saying it's a racist. That's surprising.
it has to do with actually respect for other families. So traditionally, you would be out playing, and at night it gets dark up here in Scandinavia. So you would then have to go home, and the other parents would know that your parents want you to go home at a certain time. Dinner time would be, maybe around 5 in the afternoon.
That's early.
And also they don't want to spoil your appetite. I can remember that from my childhood. That was a big thing. You don't want to spoil your appetite because your dinner will be waiting and you have to eat your vegetables and all that. So it's. I mean, another thing is that these people are complaining now because of the fact that if you are invited to a party, it's expected that you bring, if you drink alcohol, that you bring your own liquor. And that's because it's extremely expensive.
I thought everybody
Norway
did that.
And more expensive in Norway than Sweden, actually. But anyway, it is extremely expensive. So you can't expect the host to
Provide everything.
pay for wine and whiskey and vodka and so on for all the guests.
Start adding it.
You will be expected to bring that to the party. So it has to do with different cultures. It has nothing to do with racism.
I can't believe people.
I mean, these.
That is surprising. I can't believe people said that. That is surprising.
People are even saying, as far as I can tell, they are saying that this happens to white. I hate those terms. White kids as well. So obviously, it's not. It's not racism. It's just a difference in cultures. And I, on a personal note, I would say that I think that if I can tell you that whenever someone has visited my kids and they've been in our house, they've always been asked if they want dinner. But sometimes we have called up their parents and asked, is that okay, or you want us to send him home for dinner, or we just apply some common sense.
Yeah.
So Swedengate is, I've been speaking for a few minutes about this already. It is one of the most stupid things out there now.
Yeah. And I believe it's just one of those things. He said he grew up in the 70s and 80s. You can go back and backtrack to how, well, I can't really tell you how much of life when it comes to the 90s, but early 2000s, the 2010s, these were different times too. Different times, because nowadays, now, I don't know, the world, to me personally, I think the world got sensitive. Like, you can't even joke around or do, like, 'cause everybody take offense and stuff. So, like, we in different times to where even if people were sending their kids home, or they just in the room, the kids probably wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe it. They didn't invite. It was just like, oh no, they probably just understood it during that time, you know. Then you might have people looking back now and like, oh my god, I can't believe they left, just because according to the times today, it's like, wow, why would you? You know, when I first heard Swedengate, it's like, dang, why would you tell somebody to go upstairs? You know, but in that time, that was probably okay. It was okay.
But
It wasn't a big deal.
I think there are people, they want to be offended, and they will dig until they find something that they can be offended by. And I actually saw another YouTube video where they had found another criticism of Swedish culture. Let me just say something about Swedish culture and Sweden in general. It is a wonderful country. Swedish people are wonderful people. I mean, it's don't come picking on Sweden. I mean, it's just silly. But the thing that this, I don't know. Maybe it was someone trolling.
Probably.
Let's hope it was, because it makes me question if these people paid any attention at school, or rather what the schools are teaching kids these days, especially in other countries. You know, in Sweden at midsummer they dance around the majstang, the pole with flowers on it, and someone said that it's terrible because it comes from the time when they would hang slaves from the gallows. And
Dang.
I'm like, no.
I feel like now people are so quick to believe that. That's why when I watch a video, I ask questions. I do see your comments, even though I can't get to every comment. I see the comments. That's why, like, I can say when I seen the Swedengate, some people are like, yeah, that happened, or no, it didn't happen to me, you know. But you just gotta seek that information, because sometimes you go for word about, you believe somebody. People have convincing stories. They have very convincing stories, to the point where they could be lying straight to your face, but it will be a believable lie.
No,
you just gotta watch people.
It's like, let's just hope that person was trolling, because that's, I don't know where they get these ideas, but you know, I don't know. And also they were, also these people, they said that, well, you have ice cream named with the N word. No, they don't. No.
What?
Yeah, we have ice cream with nougat. You know,
nougat.
I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but the kind of chocolate, Nougat. It's a sort of chocolate, you know.
Nougat.
And you get ice cream with that in it. And hello.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
So
people are looking
so
at
if you
offenses.
live in Sweden or Norway, and your kid is visiting another family, it might happen, even though it was more common when I grew up in the 70s and 80s, but still I think it might happen that your kid is not asked to join them at the table. It's not, I think it's a bit cheap, to be honest with you, to do that, but I know where it's coming from. It has to do with tradition. It has to do with
culture,
an idea that, well, we don't want to ruin the kids' appetite, because dinner will be waiting at their home and all that. To say that it has something to do with what's the word? That Swedish people are not hospitable people. That's nonsense. And also claiming that it has something to do with racism.
Yeah, racism one, that's crazy.
It's pure nonsense. It's yeah. Okay, I'll continue with the workout, and I hope you enjoyed this little rant.
Thanks. No, I definitely understand. I understand. Like I said, everybody just do different things. Everybody is just different, and that's okay. As he mentioned, back then, I think it could have been a thing. It was just normal. People were okay with it. Nowadays, you can say we dig up old stuff and be like, okay, this wasn't right back then. It's just the time. It's the times that we live in. Certain things that were right back then may not be right now, and certain things that wasn't right back then, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's just according to the times. Like, people got away with a lot of stuff they wouldn't get away with now. I mean, shoot, go listen to Eminem. Everything he said in his raps probably wouldn't make it here today, because somebody gonna take offense. Somebody gonna say something. Why? It ain't even have nothing to do with freedom of speech. It's just social media. Everybody can speak their mind and put whatever they want on the web. They really can nowadays. So, but it's just crazy that people take offense easily. The racism, that still threw me off, because I'm like, huh? Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I've seen a lot of videos. It ain't that many black people out there. Like, how can they say racist? It ain't that many black people over there in Sweden, Norway, and stuff. At least from what I've seen, from my perspective so far. Have I seen some? Yes, but it ain't too many people that just say racism. That's just crazy. That's crazy. It's beyond me. But that's all I have for this video. Y'all let me know. Appreciate y'all for sending me this video. I feel like he broke it down good. Y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I got the Patreon as well. Yeah, I feel like he grew up in the 70s and 80s. It was common, you know. Hey, go wait in the room. You gonna eat dinner when you get home, or hey, time for you to go, because we finna eat dinner. What's wrong with that? Other than that, that's all I have. Hit that subscribe button. Y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.